Get deep into divination and learn the true old ways. From crystal balls to tarot and much, much more, only on Divination.
Hi Jenny, you alright? So, as you can see, I'm on StreamYard. Well, let's see how we go with it. It's my first time trying it. Usually I let boys go on the StreamYard and I... maybe, yeah. Hi there, you alright? Yeah, we're just going to see how we go with this. My handy assistant Ben is just running around in the background. He's just left me. He's chucked the dog in her little cage so she doesn't run over everything I'm doing. Because he's got to make a phone call that he's just remembered about. He's got a reason. Yeah, we know he's got a reason. So, anyway, what we're doing this week, we're going to do divination. Hi Chris, you alright? Yeah, now some of you will think, haven't I done divination of the pendulum before? Yes, I did. Did it back in February. It was my very first one that I did. And I'm doing it again because that was on a different channel. So I thought I should really put it onto this one and carry it actually on the other dimension. It can go on YouTube, whatever. So yeah, so I've gone right back to the beginning and I'm going to be doing this one and Ben's ever so strange. I'm going to be doing this one and the one about mirrors again. So that'll be, I'll do the mirrors in 2 weeks time probably. There we go. Hi Charles, you alright? Thank you for joining. So I might as well get started. Okay, so we'll start at the beginning with the origins. So oh yeah, before I go any further, say what I always say, I'm not an expert, I've just done research and all I'm giving you here is what I found out. So, the oldest documented evidence for the use of the pendulum goes back to ancient Roman times. There's a detailed description of the method used in the writings of the Roman Ammianus Marcellinus, who recorded the proceedings of a conspiracy trial against a group who plotted the assassination of the emperor of the time, Valens, who reigned 364 to 378. During the trial, questions were asked about a little table found in the plotter's possession. Usually you'd think a table. What's so strange about a table? This table was a bit different to a normal table, and you'll see why. So, during the trial, one of the men confessed, under torture, that they had used the table magically when trying to predict who would succeed Valens to the throne. The next part I'm going to read is the actual translation of what was said at the trial. Honoured judges, we constructed this unfortunate little table that you see here after the fashion of the tripod at Delphi, with dark incantations out of branches of laurel, and with imprecations, that's a spoken curse, of secret song, and numerous ceremonies repeated over daily. We consecrated it by magic rites, till at last we put it to motion. When it reached this capacity of movement, as often as we wished to interrogate it by secret inquiry, we proceeded thus. It was placed in the middle of a room, purified throughout by Arabian perfumes. A round dish was simply laid upon it, formed of a composite material of many metals. On the flange of its outer round was skillfully engraved the scriptile forms of the alphabet, separated into as many exactly measured spaces. Over this basin, a man stood clothed in linen garments and shod with linen socks, his head bound round with a turban-like tuft of hair and bearing a rod of vervain, the prospering plant. After we have favourably conciliated the deity, who is the giver of all presage, that's prophecy, With duly formulated charms and ceremonial knowledge, he communicated a gentle movement to a ring that hung suspended over the basin. This was tied up by an exceedingly fine Carpathian thread, which had been initiated with mystical observances. This ring, moving by little leaps or jumps so as to alight upon the distinct intervals with the separate letters inscribed, each in its compartment to itself, gives out in heroic verse answers suitable to the inquiries made, comprehended perfectly in number and measure, such as are called Pythic, or those delivered by the oracles of the Branchidae. The Branchidae were members of a clan descended from Branchus, who were the priests in charge of the oracular. Lost it now. I was doing so well. Of the oracular shrine of Apollo at Didyma. Oh, that was a bit to get through, wasn't it? So that was, I say, the actual translation of what took place. This description doesn't sound too far away from how we still use a pendulum, but with a board or cloth instead of a bowl. The bowl the Romans used was described in the passage as being made of a composite material of many metals. This means that it is made from electrum, an alloy of gold and silver that occurs naturally, but can also be artificially made. Yeah, here paper, it's me notes.
Got hi from Jenny.
Yeah.
Hi from Annette. Hi from Chris. It's Dope on Trent.
Mm-hmm.
And hi from Charles.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I see them. It's okay. All right. Depends on catch up now. I don't think anyone answered his phone call.
She's worried.
Now he's worried. I'm sure everything's fine. Sure it's not an emergency that you've been rang 3 times by the same person and now they're not answering back. Oh dear. Anyway, it is also thought that the ring used was also made from the same material, with occult characters engraved, such as the name of the deity, probably Apollo, whose oracles were famous throughout the ancient world. Sorry, just need to have a drink. The scrying table that had the dark incantations and ceremonies said over it had 3 legs, was made of laurel, and didn't have a top. There is a significance with laurel being used, as decades later it is the wood that was specified by the Enochian angels for John Dee's scrying table to be made from. Ben's creeping out the room now. Where are you going?
Make phone call.
He's trying again. Okay. Hi, Jeanette. You made it. How did it go this evening, Jeanette? Let me know in the comments. Sorry, for those, yeah, Jeanette has just been out to a spiritualist church near hers. Because they got, what is it? It's an open platform circle, they call it. So she's been there, have a little play. Right. Oh, it also says the table was fashioned after the tripod at Delphi. This was the most famous tripod of ancient Greece, on which the Pythian priestess took her seat to deliver the oracles of the deity. The seat was formed by a circular slab on top of the tripod, on which a branch of laurel was deposited when it was unoccupied by the priestess. In this sense, by classical times, the tripod was sacred to Apollo. So, that is the start of it, the first record, and a bit of description and a bit of more elaboration. We'll tell you later. Oh gosh. Yeah, so it was also used in Egypt. Well, in ancient Egypt, they had use of the pendulum. They referred to it as an amulet. And I have a little printout here. This is one of the amulets that was found. That's what it looks like. There's it. I don't know. I like the printouts. I will do printouts when I get the chance. His amulets have been found in the bandages of many ancient Egyptian mummies, and they were used to guide and protect the deceased in the next world. These amulets came to the attention of crystal healers thanks to the work of famous dowsers M.A.D. Belizel, P.A. Morrell, and their book Psychic Micro. Right, trying to pronounce this because I believe it is a French title. Psychic Micro Vibratoire Forces Invisible. Excuse my really bad pronunciation there, but Yorkshire accent, try to do French, it's not going to happen. They studied these amulets and discovered it to be a powerful tool, perhaps used by ancient Egyptian priests, magicians to perform sacred rites. Moving on. In the early 1900s, got a bit of a big jump there. I've gone from the ancient times, now going poof, to the early 1900s. You've got a French priest, Abbé Mehmet. He successfully doused for water and minerals in Africa by first holding a pendulum over maps in his home in a French village. He then went on to solve inquiries from all over the world, including locating missing persons and helping the Vatican solve old archaeological problems. Mehmet also used the pendulum as a tool for non-invasive diagnosis to locate and identify illness of the human body. So we've gone from talking to the spirits, like in ancient times, talking to the gods, to now in France is solving puzzles and identifying illnesses. And if we stick in the 1900s, you've got Ernest Hartmann, a German pendulum dowser. He mapped lines of underground water flow, areas where the water was not flowing or its energies were out of balance, he called black streams. He found that they created environmental disharmony, which he called geopathic stress. This relates to more modern times in Russia, and the Ukraine scientists have shown how, by living in a geopathic zone of Earth fault lines, geopathic stress can have a major impact on health. In the Ukraine, engineers and medical students who have been trained in dowsing monitor the harmful impact of geopathic stress on well-being. Hi, Damon. Nice for you to join us. Hope you're all right. During the Second World War, another Frenchman, Abbé Boulay, used his rosary to douse for mines in the northern French beaches, saving many lives in the 1939 war and receiving the Croix d'Honneur from the Pope at the time. So it's got loads of different uses. Moving on, we've got another Frenchman. There are a lot of Frenchmen going on here. Damon says, no, I feel like crap. Can that pendulum make me feel better? I'm sure Jeanette can make you feel better with a pendulum. She'll send you over some energy. I'm trying to light you up, I know. Sorry, I've just got a banner error come up on my screen. Some of your destinations have errors. I don't know. Damon, what does that mean? Ben's not here for me to ask. I don't think he'll know either because I don't think this has actually come up. I don't know. I'm going to carry on and I'm hoping that this is all okay. Let me just, hang on, it's got a show on it. Bear with me, guys. If I click show, oh my gosh, what have I done? Oh, that's all right. I think it's just to go on to Demonologist UK. Right, I've pressed something. Can I get it all back? Oh my gosh, hang on. This is where I'm worse at this than Ben is. This is just funny. What did it say? It just comes up as a little banner across here in peach with the red outline saying some of your destinations have errors, and it's got a little box that says show and it's got a little cross. I clicked on show, and because Ben set it to go on to Demonologist UK, but it seems to be that one that's having errors, so I think we're all right on the other dimension. So I'm just going to click across and get rid of that so I can see what's going on. There we go. I think we're all good. Sorry about that. Technology confusing me. Where we get to? Another Frenchman. Yes. Another Frenchman, Andre Bovis, who was a professional food taster, used a pendulum made of quartz crystal to rate the vibratory radiations of food. He then went on to invent the Bovis biometer, and energy is still measured on the Bovis scale. It is the same science behind this that is used in the EMF detectors we use today. What's Tim saying? No one is worse than Ben. Yeah, it's fine. That group is dead, lol. Fair enough. What we're doing next? Still with more famous uses of pendulum, because it's always nice to know. Pendulum dowsing was used notably by Evelyn Penrose in the 1950s for communicating with and healing animals. Interestingly, Evelyn was employed by the British government as a water diviner. It was from this that she was invited by governments to travel the world to advise on finding water. However, she would only make a site visit to that country after she had map dowsed in the UK and found some water first with the aid of her pendulum. I think that's quite good. I think on the other one I said that it'd be a good idea to just get a map and use it, and not necessarily douse for water, but see what else you can find by using pendulum and a map, and just go on an outing and try that. I know Ben said he'd done something similar in the past. He's not here to give his story. He's wandered off to make a phone call. Shocking. You waited till this time. Anyway, that's a bit of history behind the pendulum. I'm now going to move on to talk about how the pendulum can be used by us. I just said you can get a map. Try that. I actually want to try that. I'll get a map out at some point, not tonight. That could be an idea for another live, though. We'll get a map out, think about something that we want to find, use the pendulum, and then go to that location and see if it's there. I think that sounds like a good idea. I don't know. Anyway, buried treasure, guys, buried treasure. So, one way the pendulum has been used for centuries in Europe is the ring and glass method. This method involves suspending a ring from a thin silk thread inside an ordinary glass tumbler. The person using this sits at a table, resting their elbow, and holds the thread between their fingers. The ring hangs down inside the glass, close to the side. Sorry. The response to the questions comes from the ring tapping on the glass. It's a classic 1 tap for yes, 2 taps for no. If the response is rapid tapping, then the answer is uncertain. It could find where Atlantis is. Damon, have you got the funds for us to fly over there? I was thinking a little bit more local, like in this country. But if Damon wants to fund a other dimension expedition to find Atlantis, I'm very happy for him to do so. Right, we're going to have a go with this glass. So, let me get my props out here. We have now Patreon is booming. Only take 3 years and we can go. Never mind. Right, I'm just going to try and alter this a little bit. See if we can work. Here's my table. Oh, try and move the tripod. If Damon is paying, can we all go? Why not? More the merrier. Right, bear with me, guys. This is where I can't actually figure out what I'm trying to do. Tripod, table. Flip you down on that. Let's try and get it central. Right, that's me. Pendulum cloth there. That's me notes there. All right, so I'm going to get a ring. Just take this ring off my finger. That's my ring. I'm going to use. It's nice Whitby Jade Rose on silver. Right, where did I put my thread? I put my thread in the glass. keep it safe. And then I'll pay for us all on the pit inside. No, we've seen your Armani trainers, Damon. We know you have money. Right, so tying this. Bear with me, guys. Oh my gosh. Spinning around. It's fascinating view, doesn't it? Make time and knot in some thread. Oh, there we go. Right. Perfect. Join the club then. Okay, so like it said on instructions, we are going to hold it. I've got the thread just laying over my finger there. You can't see it pressing on my skin. There we go. So we shall hold it in the glass. Now, I know last time the thread I used, I did get a bit of silk thread and it was just spinning around like this. I think it's to do with like how it's been made. Oh, lol, don't give away my secrets. They are Primani. Yeah, whatever, Damon. Right, can we just... I'm just trying to get this held steady. Thing is, it's really, really sensitive. It's moving around in circles still, which isn't that helpful. Right, oh my gosh. See, as soon as I try and move, I'm just trying to get my arm on a stable position here. I mean, I'm using the table. Right, can we just see if we can actually use this way to communicate? Is there anybody here who would like to talk to me? Who's going? There we go, we got a clink. We got another clink. Now what I found with this method is, obviously, what's this? I have seen the pendulum. Feel someone with sciatica. I don't know about that. I was trying to work this out first, Damon. Right. From a point of view of in the glass, obviously if it's, so hang on, I'm trying to get my hand out of the way. If it's going close that way, then it's going to swing more than if it's on sideways. But the fact that it keeps spinning round with the thread, it kind of makes it a little bit tricky, I think, for the spirits to really use like that. I'm not really a fan of it because it's just like, see, it clinks there, but if it's sideways on, then it won't. So it's not that easy to use, especially if you're using the one tap for yes, two taps for no. What would the spirits here think of this? Do you like this way? I tell you what, you don't have to do one or two taps. If you don't like it, you can just, I don't know, move it in a circle. Because I get the impression that this is just not that easy to use. So we're going to go in a circle. Thank you. Shall I move on to the next section of my talk? Alright, you're going to have to swing it really a bit more now to try and get it to touch the edge because I've got you more in the middle. Good. Bit more energy. Oh, there we go. And we're off. Okay, thank you. Right, I'm going to stop that because, as you can see, I don't think that's the best way. I don't know if you could see what I was showing you before about when it gets sideways on, it has to come further over than if it's that way on. And it's just not accurate. It's hard to work, especially like I say, if you're going for the 1 for yes, 2 for no. So we'll just put that to one side and cut the thread off my ring in a bit. We'll move the glass. Right, what have I got next? Yeah, another way the pendulum has been used is the ring and cross method. Good job I left my string on there. I meant to do that. I knew that was coming up next. Yeah. Again, this uses a ring tied to thread, but instead of using the glass tumbler, a sheet of paper is used that has a cross drawn on it. The ring is suspended at the intersection and should move in a circular motion. When questions are asked, the yes answer is back and forth along the vertical line, and the no is along the horizontal. You see, when it comes with, like, the way that this thing should work, you got to let the spirits know, haven't you, as well? Because how are they going to know that they're supposed to swing it round circular to begin with, and then which way should be yes, which way for no? Maybe they've got their own ideas of what's going on and how they want to communicate. But here we have, hang on, let me just try and get into better place. So, let me just try and take that. Oh, too much. Oh, and now I can hear a pigeon on top of the chimney. Right, so, as per the instructions, we should suspend it at the intersection and it should spin round, please. It's nice when you've got a helpful spirit, or a helpful entity in this case. Now you're just showing off. Right, okay, hang on, let me just read out the instructions again so we know which way is for which answer, alright? It should move in circular motion. When questions are asked, yes is back and forth along the vertical line. So yes is along the big one there, and no is along that one. Right. Ben has returned. Okay. Do you think that this method will work better than the glass method? We got a yes. So far, so good. So, did you not like the glass? So change. I suppose you're not going to have instant changeover, but it takes time. But there we go. I did not like the glass. Okay. Can you just, I would say, can you just stop it? But can you go into your circular motion whilst I think of the next question to ask? Thank you. Oh, I just had a question, but now it's left my head.
Just a quick one.
Oh, Ben's got one, or he's got something.
My friend's watching what TV's playing for some reason. She can hear you, but see it's still photo.
Oh no.
But if she puts the video on, she can't hear you, she can see you.
That's just confusing.
My sister is actually watching.
Oh. Right. What was I going to say? Do you find using a ring fairly easy? And you see, the spirit's got it going in a really big circle now, which means it's going to take them a bit more energy and concentration to make it go into an actual answer. There we go. Look at that go. Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you're cooperating tonight. My helpful sidekick on the other side. Right, okay. So, can we just go back into your circle for me, please? Now, because this ring, obviously I've been wearing it all day today. So, is it easy to use this ring because I have been wearing it all day? Yes. And it contains some of my natural energy, which is making it easier for you to manipulate. I said that because that just came into my head then. That's what I'm just hearing. Okay. Thank you. Do you want to go back into a circle again? Now, would you like me to ask any more questions? If not, I shall move on to the next part on my sheet. Would you like any more questions? We will be asking some more questions anyway, but do you want any more questions via this ring and cross method? Okay, I'm getting I don't know, I don't mind, it's up to you, it's yours really, I'm just here to help. Thank you. Okay, right, I'll tell you what, we'll stop there. Save your energy because we'll carry on and we'll ask more questions using different methods in a minute. Right, thank you. Oh dear. Move that out the way and just grab a quick drink and you can see my lovely shiny table. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll move that into view because you know that's quite pretty and it's better to look at than just the table. So some people some people would just like to use the pendulum by itself, asking questions where yes or no swings in different directions or goes clockwise and anti-clockwise. Sometimes it's handy to use a pendulum board or cloth. The main thing is there are no set rules and you should just do what you feel comfortable with. As you can see here, here's my pendulum cloth. I've not actually used it that much. It's got a little bit dusty. Alright, Ben is just being mean now. Yeah. Well, I don't know, do I? You're still being mean. You throw me off. I can't work like this. So yeah, I've got one of my pendulums. Alright, Ben, just leave the room. Go back to making phone calls. Oh dear. Right, so as you can see, as it was around here, we've got alphabet, got numbers, we've got days of the week. We've got yes, no, maybe, unknown, and then we've got the signs of the zodiac. So it's kind of just like pretty much like a spirit board. It's a spirit cloth to use with pendulum. What I found though is if you what you saying?
Jacqueline.
Oh, hi Jacqueline, you're right. So what I found is it's really good and easy to use for yes, no, maybe. Just gives a little bit more options. You can ask what day of the week it is. Shall we try that? See if my helper on the other side. Don't laugh. They've been really good tonight so far. Okay. Right. Do you know the day of the week? So that's looking like a yes to me. Can you point to the day of the week, please? Yeah, you didn't really have to move it that much, did you? Because Thursday's pretty much there. So yes. So I did have to think about what day it was because it feels like it should be Friday. It just felt like one of those days at work, you know. Okay, thank you. We can then see. I like it that it's got the alphabet around. I think it's really handy. But if you swing in from the middle and say, can you take me to the letter of your first name? It's like, is it definitely, like, it was looking like it was going to R. So it would be, is it R that you were going to? So if I could say, do we need a bit more light? Ben, give me light.
What would you like? Lamp on?
Pop the lamp on. I might put the fish tank light on as well. Oh, that's a bit better. Oh, that. Let me just put the fish one on because the fish is just over there. Sorry, guys.
Don't need to do it.
No, it's okay. I'm standing now. Just a bit more light. Just realising because my pendulum's quite dark against the dark cloth. Right, I might be able to see a little bit better now. A little bit. It's kind of hard to see because it's quite busy, isn't it? Quite busy when you're looking at the pendulum. Ben's being daft now. Oh no. So another way you could do it would be taking it round. Like when you get to the letter of your first name, can you like spin in a circle or something? Oh, well, that could just be me because I'm moving it, so you never quite know. But it's something to work with your spirits that's around if you've got someone that hangs around with you a lot. Yeah, something else to try. No harm in trying. This one didn't cost too much, so I'm not too bothered if like all the fancy stuff doesn't work around there and you just get your basic yes, no, maybe, whatnot. Plus, it looks quite nice. Sometimes, let me just move that out of the way. Like, sometimes people, let me just do that a bit. There we go. Usually when I'm using it, I'll just hold it like this, looped over my finger, because then you haven't got your pulse to affect it at all. And I'll just say, are you there? Or certain name of spirit or entity, are you there? And it'll start moving. And it'll be like, is that your yes? Can you make it a bit stronger for me, please? Or I'll say, can you show me your no? Yes, no. I found with different spirits who I work with, they'll have their own different way of showing yes and no. So, depending on who you're working with, depends on which way they decide to swing the pendulum, or swing the pendulum even. Swing the pendulum to get the answers. So, yeah, need to know who I'm talking to, otherwise it could be getting completely wrong answers, and we're really confusing that. I'll just pop that down. Where was I on this? Let me just tip it back up. Oh, there we go. The light shining in the TV. Oh, I went orange then. There we go. Right. Where was I? Yeah. When I go out on investigations, I'm sure I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people out there that do. It can be handy to use pendulum to communicate with the spirits there. However, when we were speaking about the Romans earlier, they weren't using the pendulum to talk to the spirits of the people who died, but they were using it to talk to a deity about the future. So this is similar how people now ask questions. Sorry, I really need to rewrite that paragraph because it kind of jumped from one thing to another really quickly then, and it's like, what's going on? So yeah, out in investigations, we use pendulum to communicate with the spirits that are there, to ask them questions, to find out more about them. The shadows really weird across my face. Yeah, but when I first started, I was talking about the Romans weren't using it to talk to the spirits of people who died. They were using it to talk to their deities, and they were asking questions about the future, which then leads on to, this is similar to how people now ask questions to the pendulum about their lives, like, should I do this, should I do that, like when people get pendulum readings. because when you get a reading, when you're going to have a reading with a pendulum, you're looking for answers. And when this takes place, the person with the pendulum isn't talking to like the spirit of deceased or things like that. They're talking more to their spirit guides or any deities that they work with, or they're just putting the question out into the universe and getting answers like that. Or it could be just asking the subconscious, not necessarily talking to like a deceased person or anything like that, asking for answers. So, moving on from using the pendulum, I'm going to look at what the pendulum can be made from. So far, we have heard about using a ring. However, the majority of pendulums, sorry, I can't talk now, I've lost it. However, the majority of pendulums used now are crystal, such as the one I'm using there. These can be easily bought from shops or online. It's better to buy them in shops, I think. And there are so many to choose from. When buying a crystal, quality is important. One that has cracks or made with crystal chips won't work as well as a good solid chunk. This is because crystals hold energy. A solid piece will hold more energy than any other. Then there's deciding what type of crystal you want, as different crystals have different properties. And I should just give a few examples, but it's easy enough to look up what crystals have which properties. So you've got lapis lazuli, which is for spirit communication and psychic abilities. Rose quartz, love and self-healing. Adventurine is luck and prosperity. Jasper is grounding and sense of mind. Amethyst is for psychic abilities and spiritual growth. Like I said, there's loads of different crystals out there, and it doesn't take much just to pop online to find out more about them and what they are good for. Care for your crystal pendulum. You may hear people talk about cleansing and charging a crystal. It's a good idea to cleanse your crystal, as this removes stagnant energy and other impressions left on it from use. Some practices like to fill a bowl with fresh water and use a cleansing prayer. Other ways are holding it in running water. You can hold it in incense smoke or wash with moon water. This brings us to charging a crystal. You can use moonlight to charge it. On the night of a full moon, or 2 nights before and after a full moon, put your crystal in the moonlight. You can increase the charging by putting the crystal in a bowl of water with a pinch of salt, then in the moonlight. The salt water is said to concentrate and store the lunar energy more into the crystal. And as just a side note, you can also use your crystal pendulum for balancing chakras, cleansing auras, grounding and unblocking energy. But I'm not going to go into that. So that's gone through. Now, you'll notice that when I was using like the ring, and I was also using the pendulum, the ring had a lot more energy with its movements and its swaying. And that's like when I said to the spirit, is it easy to use this? Because I've been wearing it all day, and they said yes, it was. So that's why the ring was giving a lot more oomph in its swinging than the pendulum, because the crystal pendulum, because this has just been on the top of my bookshelf since I last used it. So it's better to, like, if you're planning on using it, I'd say keep it with you so it gets more of your energy into it as well. You got more of a connection. Let's try. Don't know if I want to swing as well now. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's not hand the hand up there because it's just going to go everywhere. Right, remove that. It's the mirror effect of this. Oh, sorry, I'm really bad at moving this. Okay, right, hold that there. Okay, is anybody there who would like to talk to me? Yeah. Okay. Do you find it easier using the ring or this pendulum? If it's the ring, swing to and from me. If you prefer using the pendulum, go side to side. You're preferring using the pendulum then? Yeah. Okay, just stop it a second for me. Thank you. Just to confirm, can you give me a yes that you prefer using the pendulum? Okay. So even though they were using the ring and it got my energy in it and it was swinging really well, for some reason they are preferring using the pendulum. I'm getting a bit of a pressure on my head at the moment. So I might. I'm sat in a very highly charged area. Why? Right. Gonna have to talk with Ben about this in a minute after. So, right. Shall we ask some questions? We can ask some questions. I'll just take the cat then. The cat's not there, and the pup is pretty much asleep. Okay. Do you? Anything I ask, it's just gonna be weird because I know who's here. Oh dear. Right. Okay. We'll ask a question. Will Ben injure himself in work in the next 2 weeks?
Cheers.
Well, you know what you like. I'm getting a yes, you are. Don't swear at the spirits, honey. Thank you. So we could ask other questions like, I could ask about my wedding that's coming up. I'm joking, I'm not going to ask about my wedding that's coming up. I'll say, okay. Are there many spirits in this room at the moment? Getting a yes. Okay. Can you stop it for me, please? Can someone just go up and check on my daughter to see if she's actually gone to bed, like she said she would? Yes. Okay, just stop it a second. So has she actually gone to bed like she said she would? I'll go up and give her a kiss and a cuddle in a minute anyway. Yeah, she didn't stay playing on the phone then. I'm not saying you should use the spirits as spies on your children. However, they are handy, especially when they don't mind. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you. Okay. Right. You know what? We're going to leave that there. Because you've been really helpful tonight. I do appreciate your help. And hopefully you're going to help Karen helping when we go out on investigations. So I'll let you guys have a rest now. You've been really good. Thank you. So tonight I had more help on the spirit side than I did from Ben. Love you, honey. Right. Before I go, has anybody got any more questions? Anything they want to ask? I don't know. Let's leave it a couple of minutes. And I need to say, what do I need to talk about? I need to talk about tomorrow. Because tomorrow we've got the main show. So that's Friday, 7 till 8 p.m. And we are answering your guys' questions. I know that some people have put comments up about what we'd like to discuss and talk about, anything they've got questions about. Feel free to jump on during the live and put any other questions up that you may want. Yeah, and then Saturday, we've got Saturday special. Again, 7 till 8. We've got Matt from P3 Paranormal Partnership Program. He's going to be talking about his para-unity that he's wanting to achieve, because he's got some groups over in the States, he's got some over in the UK that are part of it, and he's got big plans for what's happening. So that'll be good to listen to. So again, ask your questions for him. A really nice guy. And then Sunday, Ben, have you plans for a Sunday show?
As of the minute, no.
Ben has no plans for a Sunday show. So I'm sure he'll get something sorted. It'll be fine.
I will do, don't worry, guys.
He will do. He's not there yet. It's not the weekend. I mean, Ben plans things well in advance, and he has a plan in place for Sunday show. Yes.
Okay, guys, I'm willing to admit I don't plan anything. Because as soon as I plan something, it goes terribly wrong.
There we go. But yeah. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, next one will be another recap of one that I did at the start on a different channel. So it's going to be about mirrors, and we'll do a bit of mirror scrying. So that's always fun, isn't it, guys? Right, I'm going to go because I'm uncomfortable. And I'm going to go and get a drink, and I hope you all have a lovely evening, and happy Friday for tomorrow. It's Friday at last. So yeah, we'll see you later on the main show. Okay? Thanks everyone. Bye.